You're listening to the Dan Townley Breakfast Show on Six Towns Radio.
Good morning, you are listening to the Dan Townley Breakfast Show on Six Towns Radio. I am now joined by Alan and Cheryl Gerrard. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, it's just nice to have other people on the opposite side of the desk. How are you both?
Fine, thank you.
Fine.
Yes.
Now, you've got some fantastic news,
Yes.
haven't you, about Fenton Town Hall. Do you want to delve into the information? You both got gleaming smiles on your faces. It's been a long process, I believe.
It has been a long
to get
process.
to this point.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a bit of background?
Yeah, I mean, it basically started just over 2 years ago. The Magistrates Court, as was, closed, as I'm sure many people know, and the building was put up for sale. So from that moment, really, or well, actually before it was put up for sale, when we knew it was going to be sold, we began on this campaign of trying to get the town hall back in use for Fenton and the wider city, basically.
Yeah.
So there's been lots of ups and downs. It's been a fraught journey, I think.
It's been
I'd
a roller
say.
coaster.
It's been a fraught journey,
Certainly
yeah.
has.
The building is owned by the Ministry of Justice, so we had to basically try and get the building back from them.
Yeah.
We didn't think at that time, we didn't feel we should be paying for the building back. So there's been lots of things going on, too much really detail to go into, but basically we, through the Localism Act 2011, which gives communities, if you like, the power in theory to take on buildings.
Yep.
Or to have the opportunity. So we had to do lots of things like put the building on the asset of community value list with the city council. We've done all sorts of things actually in the course. There was one of the members of the group put a really fantastic summary on one of the Facebook pages last night about what we've done, from the Fenton Fandango, which was basically a pub crawl.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, we've been down. It's all about creating awareness of what was going on and trying to get more people.
It's made the community stronger as well, because I'm not from Fenton, but seeing it from an outside point of view, looking in, it has kind of galvanised everybody in Fenton, and it's like, no, this is ours. And you don't Stoke at the minute. You've got all these different. You've got the different cities.
Yeah.
And it's pulled together, Fenton, and it's just so good to watch that. Yeah. Now, obviously, you were campaigning to get the building back in the hands of the people of Fenton, really, and that didn't look likely a couple of weeks ago, did it?
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to Fenton, the point you made there, I mean, it was so important that we did this, because at the moment, Fenton it's dying on its feet. We haven't got a bank. You know, the library's been closed. Yeah. And I don't know if you know, but like Fenton's like a miniature version of Stoke-on-Trent in a sense. It's like Stoke-on-Trent microcosm, because it's like strung out. Yeah. It's got small communities hanging off those arterial sort of routes that's running through it. You've got City Road and Victoria Road, and they sort of combine into King Street, you know. Yeah. And then you've got like Fen Park and Heron Cross and all these little communities hanging off it. But Stoke-on-Trent's a bit like that in a sense. It's linear, isn't it? And it's a difficult place to regenerate, really, Fenton is. It's not like the other towns. You know, the other towns in Stoke-on-Trent are quite radial, you know, like a traditional type of town, the other towns. But like Fenton's completely different. And like Fenton Town Hall really is a big opportunity for Fenton residents and the city as well. It's an opportunity to actually do something exciting in Fenton. And there's not much heritage space and buildings left in Fenton. I mean, there's not much left in the city, to be honest, is there? But it was so important that we made a big stand to try and get this building back for all the residents of the city, to be honest. And there were some complicating factors as well. You've got a World War I memorial in there that's built into the fabric of the wall, which can't be moved. 498 heroes on there who gave their lives in the First World War, and we all know how shocking that was. And there was just no way that we could let it be sold off into the private sector. You know,
she just didn't know what was going to happen with the building.
It could have been demolished. Access to the memorials could have been completely denied. Yeah, all kinds of things could have happened. We tried to get the building listed; it was denied. Yeah, it was a real precarious situation. And as Cheryl said, we did all kinds of things. We took petition down to 10 Downing Street, poppy planting, Fandango. It was all kinds of things going on over a period of 2 years. And we ended up occupying the building
Yeah, that was towards the end.
November.
Yeah, towards the end of last year.
Yeah. And that was like the final statement that we made, and it was
well, that brought it into more of a national sphere then, wasn't it? You kind of, because you made the papers and local papers as well kind of started to go, these people just want what's best for Fenton, what's best for Stoke. As you say, it's the best for the city as well. And that's what kind of forced you right, this is the last thing we've got, really.
Yeah, it was as we saw it, it was our only... The MOJ just were not listening. We'd done lots of things. We'd done everything the right way. That's we'd done everything by the book, if you like. We'd applied for the various things all in the proper way. We'd done the petition in the proper way, and they still were not talking to us. We'd submitted with Urban Vision. We'd submitted a business proposal to them in July last year. Yeah. And up to that point, they wouldn't even consider a community asset transfer. So we got to November, and they still were not communicating with us, and we were at that point where we knew we had to do something quite radical, really, to bring
sometimes that's what it
to
takes
the table.
It takes the radical for people to listen.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, I obviously don't want to turn this into a political rant, but I think that's the way a lot of younger people feel when it comes to the councils and it comes to the politicians. Because there's obviously getting ready to vote soon, later on this year.
Yeah.
And it does take a radical to go, let's change it. Let's change the way people are thinking. Yeah. And I think to see a community come together and be the radical, it says a lot about this city. As I said before, it's just you wanted to be involved, really. When I was watching it, kind of I want to be involved with the people of Fenton, because they've just got such a, you can see the bond in the people. The pictures, every picture you've got, you're having a laugh when you're doing stuff. You're enjoying your time with the other people whilst sorting out something for the greater cause, for the greater good, and that's amazing. I think both of you and everybody else who's involved, you're absolutely amazing. You really are. Yeah. Things changed quite suddenly for the past day. Let's be fair. I don't know if anybody was expected, if there was any word on the grapevine, but Fenton Town Hall it's been purchased, hasn't it, by Justin Meath-Baker.
Subject to contract.
Subject to contract. Yeah.
But
his bid has been accepted by the MOJ, subject to contract. So he's put in an offer, and they've accepted that offer. As with everything, it has to go through various legal hoops now. Yeah.
I mean, Justin's come in because there's nowhere else to go, to be honest. I'm speaking for him in a sense that I'm taking a liberty, but I think that's where he's coming from. I think from a campaigning perspective, ourselves and everyone else who is involved, whether they be in Fenton, Stoke-on-Trent, UK or abroad, people were helping from the States and places like that, all over the place. We brought the MOJ to the table, and they offered the building back to the City Council for £1. Yeah. Peppercorn rate is normally £1. They were going to sell the building to them for £1, and the City Council refused. Now, as far as we're concerned, there was nowhere else to go. Where'd you go, really? Yeah. It was built for the people as a gift by William Meath-Baker, Justin's great granddad, and we got the MOJ to offer it back. So it was like, we come complete circle, and for the City Council to refuse it, we'd done our job, and people could say we'd failed. As far as we're concerned, we'd done our job. We're just thankful that Justin has stepped in and take this decision. I think he saw that we had done everything that we could do, and there was nowhere else to go with it.
He does say he's kind of preserving the legacy that his grandfather built, which I think is amazing. Again, sorry to keep on bringing up, but the family and the community aspect, he's like, my grandfather built it to be a library, built it to be an office for the local council, a local hub. Basically, that's why it was built. Let's use it for the sole purpose of the reason it was built, and that's amazing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's proof that philanthropy, that sort of Victorian sense of philanthropy that used to exist, that seems to have died, in that sense. there is still that spark there somewhere. Perhaps it's it's a feeling.
It takes a bit of scratching at the surface, but once you get deeper into it, you find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they've been invested in Fenton since 1767, and
the Baker
it's
family.
good to see it. They're still prepared to do that. So
possibly their biggest investment yet, I'd say, especially for the meaning of the building as well. So
yeah, I think so. And Justin's been with us really from day one. And really supportive, and his as Alan said, really, I think it reached that point where he saw that neither the MOJ or the City Council were actually moving on this, and where were we going to go? There was another bidder, we understand, for the building, and basically Justin put the offer in, and it's been accepted, and we now really are really excited about moving forward with Justin and whatever kind of organisation is formed around that. And I mean, actually, if there's anyone out there listening, what we need now is to begin to, the point of what we want to do there is a mix. It's a real mix of start-up businesses, and small young enterprise companies. There's loads of room at the back of the building, the more modern bit, if you like, for small business startups. So much scope and range in there for it, as well as all the community facilities that we want. So if we now need to build this up and basically get some companies, businesses, small organisations, drama students who are interested in being part of this fantastic opportunity, because that's where we've got to go now. So if there is anyone out there who wants to be part of this bigger picture and this big dream of this build, get in touch.
Do you have any contact details for the people to get in touch with?
Yeah, they can contact ourselves at the Art Bay Gallery in Fenton. Okay. My mobile number is 07809 505 244. If anyone wants to ring me. And we are now in touch with Justin, and that's what we need now. We now need to move forward with offers, with people, organisations, groups who want to use that space, so that we can that can then build. Justin then has this picture and this that he can then go back to the MOJ and say, right, okay, here we go. There's the money that I've offered you. There's the business proposal, which has already been put together, and actually, here's 20 businesses and organisations who've already signed up to this. Because once that building once he's got the keys, there's an immediate, there's lots of things that can begin immediately. Yeah. There's obviously the bigger picture is the ballroom and the renovation of the ballroom, and that's a longer term project. But in terms of getting people in there and beginning the activity within that's immediately accessible.
It is. I mean, obviously, it's been a magistrate's court. MOJ have very much looked after the building. Everything's pack tested. All the sockets, everything's been really well maintained. Yeah. So you're not going into a decrepit old building.
No.
It's a very, very well functioning building.
It's a building people have fought for.
Yeah, it's got a new boiler. Yeah, everything's fine. And once that ballroom is converted back, because obviously prior to 1968 it was a community venue, with a ballroom where you had jazz bands playing and so on and so forth, wedding receptions. It was very much part of the community, and offering a service that that reached out far beyond Fenton, to be fair. And that's what we want to see again, where we get bands coming in, and performers coming in from far and wide, and that's what we want to see, really. So very much a multifunctional venue, really. We think the future's very bright, especially when you throw into the mix the accessibility. I mean, Fenton's, you've got the A50 there, A500,
two minutes off the A50
square as well, and loads of car parking space. So we see a lot of fine things really in the future.
So it's about moving forward from now on. No looking back.
No, no
looking back. It's all
no.
about the positivity ahead of the
Absolutely,
road.
yeah,
Thank you very much for coming in.
No,
Thank you
Thank you very
us.
much for telling the story of the very quickly, without going into all the nitty gritty details of the Fenton Town Hall. And good luck with getting everything sorted.
Thanks very much.
And getting the building used. Really,
yes, absolutely.
As we're feeling a bit local and local pride, I've chosen Shay's song "Oh Stoke" for you to leave.
Nice.
So sorted. So this is Shay with "Oh Stoke" on Six Towns Radio.
The Dan Townley Breakfast Show. Weekdays 8 till 10 on Six Towns Radio.